Okay, it's been a couple years since I've bothered to do one of these videos where I look over the patch notes and just kind of talk about what I think. I think the last time I did one was like 6.5 or something. I've not been doing it every patch. I don't really know if anyone really wants to see this kind of thing, but I just decided why not do it again. These just went up about an hour ago, hour and 8 minutes. I've watched the trailer already. I watched the live letter, partially watched it, kind of read the translations and live letters channel in the FF14 Reddit Discord, but let's just see what's in the patch notes. I'm going to kind of speedrun it. Main scenario, of course, pick it up in Solution 9. Arcadian, unlock in Solution 9. We knew about that. That'll be the quest for normal, and then we'll get Savage in about a month. Can teleport directly to the Phantom Village from the Aetheryte and Tulial. I'll no longer need to jump from one Aethernet shard to the other one at the docks. And then enter. You can just go straight there. Alpha, that's kind of like how you can go to Gangos directly from the Aetheryte in Dome and Enclave. Alpha and Omega will now visit more areas after completing some post-dawntrail and Omega Beyond the Rift. Cool. New stuff getting added to New Game Plus, obviously. Very good. Love that. New rewards in the treasure maps. Doesn't say what they are, but I can assume that there's some of these items we'll be seeing a little later. Some new nautical maps, areas, items, maximum submersible rank for subaquatic voyages. I don't participate in that content because I'm not an FC owner, but that's cool. Furnishing items, you know, subjective, but I think they look good. I like the neon yan on the wall. I don't know if that's a new item or if it's being shown with new items. Don't know what all those weapons on like a little patch of battlefield is. New orchestrion rolls, new aquarium fish. New seed for flower pots. This is tea flower seeds. Interesting. New prizes at the Gold Saucer. Doesn't say what they are. New stage for Air Force One. I wonder if it'll be as long or as difficult. Well, not to say it's difficult. As easy, I should perhaps say. New triple triad cards. Could have guessed. New voices for Dome and Mahjong. Could have guessed. Earring at Chloe's thing for Wondrous Tales, as well as adding the new dungeon, the last Alliance raid, and the new frontline to Wondrous Tales. The Unreal is changing from Seiryu, Wreath of Snakes, to Tsukiyomi's Pain. Says there's a new item for foe leaves and shows the mount. It does say items in plural, so maybe there'll be some minions and stuff too. Duty recorder, useless as always, showing very old duties that people don't really care very much about anymore. New hairstyles for Vieira, new hairstyles for Hrothgar, always good. New headgear that will display when Vieira and Hrothgar wear them is also always a really good thing for the players who are playing those, as well as the new Vieira ear display toggle being expanded further. New emotes, looks like clutching or hugging a book. This interesting thing, an icon is added to emotes to indicate whether you can use it while having a torch fashion accessory out. Is a torch new? I don't remember a torch. They tweaked the names of some of the cheer emotes as well as the colors of the glow sticks on the icons, which better represents the color of the glow stick actually is when you do the emote, so I think that's fine. New dungeon, of course, is part of the MSQ. It's called Mistwake, level 100, blah, blah, blah. Item level sync to the last dungeons. Hell on Rails is a new trial, also in the MSQ. And Extreme. I'll of course be trying to kill Extreme in the morning of release because that's what I like to do and it's fun. I mean, it'll be some kind of a wall boss, but I wonder, you know, it'll be interesting. We already acknowledged this with Unreal, but yeah, very cool. Do your weekly foe hollows, make money. Drop rate for Wings of the Knighthood would be Zelenia Extreme, and they can also be purchased now. The new normal raids you unlock in that's a little loud. It's just on shuffle, and not every song is the same volume. You unlock this in Solution 9, I believe it said earlier. Of course, the rewards for normal, the structure is not really different. Hollow Blade every week from the 4th fight. Quote-unquote Savage has been added, but that won't be until January 6th. And it looks like it'll unlock on a timer, so it sounds like no maintenance, which is good. They talk about the level requirement, the item level requirements, etc. And the rewards with the coffers and stuff. The structure of this isn't changing. The delay for Savage being longer than it has really ever been is actually really good in one way. I mean, there's obviously reasons to not like it. Like if you're kind of like a hardcore week 1 and you want it to be challenging, then having several weeks of tome gear might feel bad to you, and that's understandable. But what I want to say is I think this is going to be one of the best tiers ever, specifically to choose to do splits for loot. So splits, if you don't know, being where you raid with 2 characters, and what you do once you're re-clearing is half of your static plays their mains and half of your static plays their alts, and the players on their alts pass loot and the mains roll on loot, and then you kill everything again that week, but the players who are on their mains play their alts, and the players who are on their alts play their mains, and then those players on their alts pass loot for the group's mains, and you essentially are generating double the loot for all 8 of your mains, right? And you progress your gearing faster. So having done splits in the past, one of the things that I've experienced, and especially in a tier like last year, I didn't do splits, but even last year, like the rate of gaining raid loot could outpace the rate of tomes pretty badly, because a lot of jobs needed like a really large amount of tome gear. And so if that was you, you know, you would understand how the raid loot pace can dramatically outpace earning your weekly tomes. So like doing splits this tier is going to be really advantageous, because you're going to have that 4-week head start. You actually should be finishing tomes around the same time, or maybe even before you finish raid gear, under splits farming conditions, right? So that's actually really good. It'll actually be like sort of worthwhile to be BIS as early as possible. And another reason why you might want to do that is, in the past, I think in the case of another Sildine Subterrane Savage, or whatever that Criterion, I guess the very first Criterion dungeon is what I'm trying to say, that came out like 7 weeks or something after the Savage tier that was before it. So if you cleared on week 1 and didn't do splits, someone in your static didn't have a weapon on the week that came out. And obviously you don't necessarily need one. They are a little more forgiving at Criterion difficulty, and I think even Criterion Savage, it maybe is doable without your group being in BIS, but nobody wants to go in without BIS, right? So doing splits this tier to make sure you're BIS in advance of Criterion, and having your tome gear not be way behind your raid gear, is actually like gonna work out so nicely. Anyway, continuing with the patch notes. So talked about how the gearing isn't really changing, but the delay will have a significant impact. Of course, changing what's in Raid Finder, moving older Savage and Extreme to Duty Finder, Echo in Ageless Necropolis and Extreme, weekly restrictions removed from Sandoria's Second Walk, the past Alliance raid. When completing Pilgrim Travis challenge log, objectives rewards will be temporarily in the loot list if your inventory is full. That's nice, so your loot's not just gonna vanish. You can kind of deal with it, make room for it. Deep dungeons. In the events that all party members disconnect, progress will be restored upon logging in within 10 minutes of disconnect. That was in the live letter as well, so just a grace period to help, you know, compensate for like the DDoSes and connectivity problems lately. Following additions have been made to South Horn. 3 new Phantom jobs. Mystic Knight, Gladiator, and Phantom Dance have been added. New accessories offering bonus effects only active on the Occult Crescent has been added. So that's right side gear that has special attribute, I guess. They can be found rarely as rewards from critical encounters, treasure coffers in the field, persistent pots, and happy bunnies is kind of an interesting thing to say. Happy bunnies. We don't have bunnies in Occult Crescent, or at least we didn't. Maybe we will now. New items from the antiquarian. Adding right side gear now instead of when a new occult map, if there's going to be a new occult map, happens is really interesting, because it makes me wonder what a later occult map could reward as far as Arcanaut gear goes. In particular, if you imagine this, it requires participation in Fork Tower Blood to move Arcanaut gear from +1 to +2. So then I question, you can't just add +3 in like Occult Crescent Map 2 as the casual side of the content, because you would be requiring Forked Blood to progress from +2 to +3. So I kind of assumed if we're getting a second map for Occult Crescent that's when we would be getting right side gear. So we could have new gear that like a casual player can start at +0, +1, and if they choose to do the new Forked Tower, +2. So I'm kind of surprised to see it early, essentially, being added to Southhorn. Yeah, I wonder how the new jobs will be added too, if they'll be like stones you have to get from critical encounters. They're engagements in Bosnia because it's a war zone, but they're just encounters in Occult Crescent because it's exploration. Variant Eagle Eye Shot in variant dungeons, damage spell. Variant and Criterion dungeon tabs have been changed to variant advanced Criterion, just naming stuff. If there's new entries to read, you'll be alerted. That's cool. Of course, the Tombstone shuffle. So the old Tombstone moved back. The prior two Tombstones discontinued. Poetics continues to exist. New Tombstone is introduced. It's nothing you haven't seen before. You go to like Mordona or whatever, you trade your old ones if you need to. Expert Roulette has changed. Say goodbye to Underkeep. Add in Mistwake. Item level for Expert 735. Very, very obtainable. The new crafted gear will be 770. Level cap dungeons, obviously, yep, put Undercap in there. Hell on Rails and Duty Roulette Trials. Sandoria in Duty Roulette Alliance raids. AC Heavyweight Normal in Duty Roulette Normal raids. And all that stuff in Mentor. Nothing you wouldn't expect. That's just all the tomes being adjusted to the new sets of tomes. Same with PvP. Same with elite marks and like hunt stuff. And maps. And deep dungeons. Yeah, anything that gives you tomes is being updated to the new tomes. Adding the new stuff to Stone Sea Sky. Adding duty support to new stuff, as well as 2 old ARR dungeons. And they talk about adjusting mechanics and stuff like that. Presumably so duty support can perform them as usual. Will to live. Yeah, they talked about this. So in the past, duty support, if you died, you would just like wipe. And I think this is an adjustment to that. This willful status. Yeah, when you would take lethal damage, you can survive with 1 HP, be temporarily immobilized, and restored to full. So it basically allows you to fail without fully restarting or whatever. The icon of cover and covered when used by ally. Oh, so NPCs don't use the paladin cover icons anymore. They have unique ones to separate them out, I guess. Maybe it was causing confusion. I don't really know why. New items for trophy crystals. It's PvP series rewards, previous PvP series rewards. Of course, Series 9 ends, Series 10 begins. Looks like we're going to get this as a mount. That's pretty cool. Crystallized Conflict. Swift sprint at the starting point, even if the opponent has moved the tactical crystal. I noticed, I haven't played it very much, but I felt that, sorry, there's something on my monitor. I felt that Bayside Battleground was really snowbally. Especially I found that it kind of like took off really early in the game and it became kind of hard to, compared to other maps, like change the momentum of the game. So maybe that's what that is for, to kind of help the losing team not completely fall behind and be unable to come back. New commendation crystal stuff, I guess. Oh yeah, alternate colors of ranked rewards from the feast. So old reward stuff coming back. Season, so this is the ranked. I don't think any of these systems are changing, so I'm going to move past it. But basically, oh, maybe some rewards. Yeah, some crystal reward counts are being adjusted. That's cool. If you do ranked PvP, though, basically, new season. Do your ranked stuff again. Have fun with that. New frontline. We did see this in the live letter as well as the capture mechanics for these points being demonstrated. I sort of worry that it's kind of weird, like 3 people go stand around the point or 4 people go stand around the point and it's capturing, but like there's 72 players in this match. Like those number counts are like weirdly low, but whatever. I think it looks really cool. Yeah, they talk about it actually in quite a bit of detail here. So if you want to know how it works, come open these patch notes yourself. I'll put them in the description. Or you could even watch the live letter where a demonstration happened. Weather effects are in there too, which is really cool. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. I tend to play frontline to progress my PvP series rewards and get my like gear sets and stuff, like my or mounts or whatever is unlocked from it on any given patch. So what's this talking about? What are they changing about Battle High? I don't think they're changing anything about Battle High. I think they're tutorializing the entire mode. Yeah, of course the rotation is different now. They're setting it up in a way where it will potentially happen like basically 50% of the time. So like the same rotation, except on any given day, it sounds like either it's this, or maybe they're saying for a time they'll both be available. I'm not quite sure. The way they're presenting this is a little interesting, but cool. New items. We were shown this one. I don't know. Is this the one that we think is dungeon gear? Because I think this is the one that we think is crafted gear. Yeah, so they renamed all the emotes to tell you what the emote is in brackets, I guess. A bunch of holiday items are getting renamed to tell you what the year is, what year they're from. Adding dye channels to a bunch of gear. Ooh, a bunch of these gears are relic steps. That's really interesting. Adding double dye channels to Heaven's Ward relics. I'm seeing a lot of different stuff. Field Commander stuff, which I believed wasn't dyeable at all, and now suddenly it's added. Does it say 2? 2 dye channels. Oh my god. Interesting stuff in there. Take a look at that. See if you regularly use any of that in your glams, or want to now that it's dyeable. Quetzalcoatl gear is now available for Sack of Nuts. Was it not already? I thought Quetzalcoatl gear. Oh yeah, maybe that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, you can't accidentally submit high quality gear in the normal quality gear menu for upgrading crafted gear. I made that mistake in like Shadowbringers once and didn't receive enough tokens to get the augmented version. I had to like buy another item. Certain items can be sold decent, submitted to expert using material extraction. Not very detailed, but okay. Changes to the Glamour system. This is the big one. Equipment can be glamored regardless of class or job requirements. I already have some ideas about this. I have like a Black Mage glam that I'm planning to use for other casters and even healers. Use my Fending glam for Dragoon. On my ult, use a Striking glam as tank. But I don't have any like super creative mix and match stuff. I just have like, I like this set and I couldn't use it for the role that I actually play, or like whatever. Yeah, you don't need the full set anymore to use the outfit glamour storage, so you can still condense 3 items down to 1 instead of needing all 5 first, if I understood that correctly. And then there will be a display of the number of pieces. Very cool. This is nice, repair all inventories, because currently in this menu I click repair, click repair, click repair, click repair, and now you could just click this. Confirmation prop when extracting material has been removed. Good, because there was never any consequence, so there was never any reason not to just do it. So thank you. Trial synthesis, starting quality and condition always normal. I guess if you want to make, I'm not a crafter. I guess this is so you can trial, like knowing that you'll have a certain starting quality because of your material qualities. You can synthesize only normal quality items when using quick synthesis. I don't know why, but okay. New gathering points, new items at gathering points, new gathering adjustments, new fish have been added. Fishes can change their bait while mounted. Visual effects for the hook sets. Time spent immobile after gathering has been reduced. That's nice. Level cap for desynthesis increased. Okay. You can guarantee normal quality. Like, why would you do that? The only thing I can guess is if you get sometimes high quality, sometimes normal quality, and you want to just put them all in one stack in your sales slot at your retainer, maybe. And then you don't have to like manually downgrade your items afterward. Following additions and adjustments to cosmic exploration. I don't participate in this content. Aethernet shards. A gold count based on the number of consecutive missions completed with gold. This is quality of life stuff. with the streak having increased rewards. Okay, what will reset the gold count? Okay. Oh, so this part sounds like it's catch up, actually. Warp to mission sites during red alerts, additional announcements before red alert. Like, this is all QOL stuff for the most part. A little bit of catch up. New mount. Huh. Well, given that these guys are heavily associated with the recent crafting Allied Society quest, and this isn't in the game already, then the other location where these guys are sort of associated, because we sort of saw snowmen of them, I think, earlier in a screenshot for the new PvP map. Maybe this is like some kind of PvP reward mount, achievement mount for the new map. This is Hell on Rails Chocobo Barding, of course. It's pretty funny, though. I like that this looks simultaneously like a conductor's cap and like the steam chimney thing. New minions. Okay, these look very, very much like Faux Hollow's Unreal minions, and in particular this one I could imagine being very popular. I held on to Faux Leaves. Unfortunately, I don't think I have 400. Actually, no, I do think I have over 400, yeah. I held on to Faux Leaves, so if this turns out popular, maybe I'll be selling one on the market board Tuesday morning. New faceware. Kind of edgy. Cool. Graphical tweaks to NPCs and texture resolution and certain pieces of gear. Do I use any of these? Not really, but okay, cool. Field instances for Solution 9, Living Memory, and new areas for 7.4. Removing instances for Ilmeg, Urkopacha, Shaloni. Some new achievement and title adjustments. Okay, so this is like the tank achievements and adjusting what duties qualify for progressing it. Yeah, updated adventure options for retainers. The strategy board. Go watch the live letter if you haven't seen this. They demonstrated and showed a lot of it, which looks really, really cool. I'm excited about this feature, even if this doesn't catch on as like the main way to share strategies, which I actually think it might not. If it's not like literally, if it's not literally perfect, the community will like rage about it. I just know how they are. This is cool that you can make a folder with separate. This is really good. This is one of the things we were sort of worried about. They told us there'd be folders, but we didn't really know exactly what it would look like. So this is nice to see. Yeah, for the most part, I'm actually really excited with this feature because of this part, sharing it with your party. I think there's a way you can like bring it up in game and everyone watches you as you edit it in real time. If strat sharing doesn't become popular with this tool, it doesn't even matter. That feature alone, where you can share it on screen and edit it in real time while people watch you do it, is going to be so good for teaching people. Like if you've ever taught like newer beginner raiders extreme trials and like first couple floor savages and stuff, and you have to like link them raid plan and like tell them what strat they're looking at, or open like Discord screen share, like we have the tools to do that, but just doing it right in the game is going to be amazing. Another case is, imagine you're doing mentor roulette and you get a Realm Reborn extremes in your mentor roulette, and you know, as long as the player who queued them or doesn't know what to do is receptive to communicating with you about it, you can pop open a strategy board. You can keep them handy for those duties. Pop it open, do your mentor roulette mentoring. Yeah, very cool. Command panel. This seems extremely for controller players, or extremely for the kind of player who you go to their like stream or whatever and they have like huge blocks of hotbars that are like full of like utility stuff like this. I have a few hotbars like that way off on the left of my screen, and I have them macroed and keybound so I can press something to make it show and hide. So this would technically be like a replacement for that feature, I guess. I don't feel inclined to use it, although I am somewhat limited in space on that feature, so maybe I will use it for that reason. But I already have solved this issue using excess hotbars, so we'll see. We'll see about that. It's cool that they're adding it. Someone will like it. That's great. These, honestly, I love that they're adding more themes. I think they should make tons and tons of themes. I think both of these themes are ugly. Both of these themes are ugly. But I'm happy that they're there because someone will like them. I just don't. I'm going to keep using clear blue. It's very like, reminds me of the FF7 remake HUD. Not rebirth, but remake. The following additions we made to portraits, new stuff. That is very cute. This will be tremendously popular. G-pose looks like new stickers, including job stones. That'll be popular. I can imagine a whole static and people putting their job stones like just below their feet or above their heads or something. Up to 200 stickers can be placed on screen. That's a lot. Visual alerts and color filter settings. Cool. Gamepad inputs. Kind of sounds like it's just a smoothness and then command panel options. System configuration, what the left click does. Yeah, it's been added to the settings. Accessibility settings, character and object quantity has been added for consoles. That's cool. Strategy board and command panel are going in the main menu. Color filtering settings. Slash commands for them. Also, this one's the emote carry book. Some old emotes. Oh, that's weird. Cheer on is cheer OB. I thought that was a typo. Cheer ob, but it's cheer on blue. Cheer on white. Cheer on yellow. Cheer wave yellow. Okay, whatever. Bunch of slash commands getting changed. New stuff to auto translation. Additions to the PlayStation and Xbox autocomplete dictionaries. New trophies. New trophies. Wait, you can call them trophies for PlayStation, but I don't think. I think trophies is literally PlayStation nomenclature. This should probably say achievements for Xbox. Whatever. New sound effects, new music. We're at the bottom. A large number of headphone equalizers and preset equalizers have been added to immersive spatial audio if you use those features. That's it. That's the end of it. So, exciting patch. If you're not as in the loop, because this is like this is patch notes. This is the nitty gritty, right? If you're not as in the loop about what's in the coming patch, there should be what's called like a special site or whatever for the patch. Here it is. Make your way to this site if you don't actually know about the content that's coming in like broad strokes senses, or you can go watch the live letter. I'll put links to all that stuff in the description. But yeah, exciting patch. Couple of interesting tidbits in the notes. I mean, obviously, most of it is stuff we knew or expected because of the live letter, but sometimes there's new stuff in the notes and just wanted to cover it. All right, thanks for watching.